Hello and welcome to the Ventura Rock Spot. My name is Jeffrey Donovan and I'll be your host. The Ventura Rock Spot is a monthly program featuring original musicians from or traveling through Ventura, California. Be sure to check out the website at VenturaRockSpot.com for all the past episodes and information about how to become a featured artist yourself. And if you're wondering what's going on with the music scene around Ventura, California, please check out VenturaRocks.com for all the most current updated information. So in this episode, we have with us David Hare. Thank you for being with us today, David.
Thank you so much, Jeffrey. Good to see you.
Great to see you. So let's just jump right into this. You started your career in music in your early teens, and you've continued that path ever since. For those of our viewers, though, that aren't familiar with you or your work, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, how the journey started, and where the journey's taking you to this point?
Okay. Quite a story there. All right. So I started, as you said, in my teens. I had an opportunity to sit in with a cover band in middle school. I'd never done that before. And so after doing that, I thought to myself, this is what I want to do. And I was in the right place. And then a couple of weeks later, I was the lead singer for that band. So I only met them that night when I first sat in with them. And then from then on, playing through high school, went to college at the Boston Conservatory, studied musical theater, which was a combination of music, drama, and dance. So kind of being able to incorporate those things into the performance. And then I had an opportunity to work with several bands. And now I'm in Nashville, Tennessee.
All right. So let's just jump right in, get our viewers familiar with your work and take a look at one of your videos. So this is one that's called Coming Home. We'll play that now and we'll get you some detail from you about it afterwards. Here we go.
Hours away from my front door, up past redwood towers, I'll come down along the shore. I'm coming home. Some say that it's crazy, though this life keeps me sane. With you at home waiting, I wish this ride was a plane. I'm coming home. Too long. It's been too long since I've been there. Since I've been there, I just can't wait. I just can't wait to get back. I'm 17 hours away from my front door. I'll bring you wildflowers and some things from the shore. I'm coming home.
So, all right. Well, that one was called Coming Home. Why don't you give us a little information and detail about that song?
Okay, that song was composed after I'd moved from the Ventura County. I was living actually in Oxnard, although when I first moved to Ventura County, I lived on, I believe it's Telephone Road. It's right across from a drive-in theater. I don't know if that's still there or not. But then I moved to Hollywood, and I started writing songs solo. I'd always, up until that time, I had always written songs in a collaborative situation. So Coming Home came out of, it's a combination of a lot of different real life experiences and relationship aspects to it as well. So that was one of the first songs that I wrote solo. Not the first song, but one of the first songs.
All right. And so speaking about Ventura, you were a Ventura resident at one point in your life, and you played in bands such as 805, Dusty Rose, and some others. Why don't you tell us a little bit about those bands and living in Ventura in general?
Right. Actually, when I first moved to the Ventura County area, I landed in Simi Valley, and I was in a band for a little bit that we went by the name of Another Lost Angel, which was not a Doors tribute band, but it was actually an original band. And then it was cool because it had ALA, so it was kind of symmetrical with the letters.
Right.
So then I moved from Simi to Ventura, to that residence there on Telephone Road. And then I got hooked up with a band from Ventura called 805, which was a band that was big in the 80s. Now I moved to Ventura. It was in the 90s, early 90s. So when I was there. And then I still worked with one of the guitar players from Another Lost Angel doing a duo. At the same time, I was singing in 805. And at the same time, I was singing. We just started Dusty Rose up. So there was 3 projects that were going on. Plus I was holding down a full-time job in Oxnard. But, I was doing what I liked. So, I even got to sleep a little bit. So
I don't see how with 3 bands and a full-time job. I mean, you must have been rehearsing every night.
Yeah, I was doing some sort of music every night,
Yeah.
So yeah, there was stuff going on there, or learning material, because Dusty Rose was a pure cover band.
All right.
And then 805 was an all original band. And then the duo was like a combination of originals and covers.
What did you like most about playing in the Ventura area?
Well, I love the beach.
Okay. Yeah.
So that was really cool. And then I ended up living on Silver Strand Beach. So just a couple block from the beach there. And so it was just really cool. People were really friendly to me. I mean, it's hard to think of what not to like, being in a beach community.
Right.
So I kind of strive in that kind of environment.
Right. And also a community that's very into their music. Ventura's got a really nice music scene going on, and I'm sure you love that aspect of it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. Well, we've got another video for our viewers. This one is called Treaty Betrayed. Let's take a look at that one.
Not Treaty Betrayed.
Yeah. Let's take a look at that one right now. Here we go.
Very cool, Jeffrey.
Okay.
It's been a long time. treaty betrayed. Just a treaty betrayed. Another treaty betrayed. Oh, you got the house though. You got the same thing, same thing. Flowers, dead flowers. It's a treaty betrayed. Just a treaty betrayed. Another treaty betrayed. Oh no, don't want hell wrong. You got bad times ahead. You got nothing but the blues. It's a treaty betrayed. Just a treaty betrayed. Another treaty betrayed. It's a treaty betrayed. Just a treaty betrayed. Another treaty betrayed.
That was fantastic. I really loved that one. And I'd like to talk a little bit about that because your work features primarily acoustic guitar work. And in the last song, Treaty Betrayed, I could really easily see some heavy electric guitars being utilized in that if you had wanted to. But you've stayed all acoustic. I really like that aspect. Was that a conscious decision to stay acoustic, or did you ever think about venturing into the electrics for some of your material?
Well, that was, yes, as far as venturing there, the thing was, is I didn't, at that time that I recorded that song, I did not own an electric guitar, and I didn't think to borrow one or anything, and I wasn't really accomplished on electric guitar at the time. So I basically just got, it's basically, yeah, like you said, it's just acoustic guitar and the drum beat there, you know, and I recorded it on my 4-track in my little teeny studio apartment in Hollywood.
Wow.
You know,
quality is amazing for recording it at home on a 4-track.
Thank you. Yeah, it was on an Akai 4-track. I don't, you know, that they were kind of big in the day, but it was a cassette 4-track, but it had Dolby. So it had some good noise reduction. And then if I did any overdubbing and stuff like that, I mixed down to DAT. So it kept, so kind of like the Beatles used to do too, because the Beatles did a lot on 4-track and then they went to 8-track. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And then, yeah, basically that would be cool. Putting some electric guitar and doing a different production of that song. That would be fun.
Right. You know, so one of the reasons I brought that up was your early work with Chris Holmes. You were in the band Buster Savage.
I was, yes.
This might surprise you a little bit, but I actually saw you guys play a few times.
In Thousand Oaks? Or
yep, in Thousand Oaks, yeah. And the Thousand Oaks is where I grew up, and I was probably 16 or 17 when you guys were playing, and I saw you at numerous places. Always enjoyed myself tremendously. I always remember Chris just being this giant guy, you know. And
he's like
yeah, he really is.
And I'm like, I'm 5'8", which I'm not the shortest guy in the block, but I mean, I think Chris is like 6'3" or 6'4" or whatever. I don't know.
Well, how did you get involved with Buster Savage?
Well, I met Chris a couple years before that. I'd been singing in middle school and then into high school. We went to the same high school together, and I met Chris. Chris was just starting to play guitar, and I walked into the bathroom, which was one of the places to smoke. I was a pretty heavy cigarette smoker. So
smoking in the boys' room.
Exactly. So I went in there, and here's this dude like lanking across the sinks. He was sitting up on the sinks with his back against kind of like, and his feet out, and he had this old acoustic Gibson arch top guitar, you know. I don't know where he got it, but he was just starting to learn how to play. And I think he kind of knew I was getting a reputation as a singer, you know, for playing in the bands that I was playing in. And then over a little bit of time, you know, he was real serious about it. And he hadn't really developed as a guitar player, but he was doing that all the time. And I was hanging out with him and we got along real good. And then the first time we played together was one of those school talent show things. And I think I know we did a Bowie song. I think we did 2 songs. It escapes me. We did Cracked Actor was the Bowie song. And there was another cover song, but I don't know what. And then he started taking lessons from Ed Van Halen, you know, and he was getting really good. Yeah. And then I think we were driving somewhere from like Pasadena back to La Cañada where we were, you know, living. And he was asking me what he thought of names of bands, you know. And so he asked me, you know, this or that. And of the ones he said, I said, Buster Savage is the coolest one, you know. So then he named the band Buster Savage, you know, and then I joined it and stuff. I don't know if he was waiting for me to ask him to join it or what. So kind of it just organically happened, you know. And the rest is rock and roll history.
All right. Well, let's get back to your work. Your latest album, A Night in the Canyon, was recently released and features 6 original songs and 5 cover tunes. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that work and the inspiration behind it?
Yeah, a War Pigs acoustic version is on that song as one of the covers. The other 4 covers are of an artist by the name of Tommy Bolin. And then the other 6 original songs are just a variety of songs that I incorporated a lot into my live performances. So I had a box of DAT tapes I'd forgotten totally about that recording. And I didn't have any way of playing those songs. I knew there were some gems in there. So I found a fella out here in Nashville that had a DAT machine and could transfer those DAT tapes that I had onto CDs that I was able to, you know, use and then like get the levels good and make it sound real good. And I said, I've got an album here because there was 11 songs on here. So I can do a full album. Why don't I release these? They've been sitting since like 2000. Let me put them out. So that's kind of how that came to be.
So I always enjoy about hearing about the different processes that every artist has for creating their music. How does the creative process work for you? Do you have a specific method in writing a song, or is it just really different every time?
It's going to be different. I don't have like a formula necessarily, but the most, I would say, using the word organic, which is kind of maybe an overused word, which I have never used in a song, but maybe I'll write a song called Organic, but no, usually what I'll do is I'll come up with what I feel is a cool hook or a cool progression. You know, I'll just be sitting playing guitar or chord progression or something. And then after I come up with a chord progression that I think is interesting, it may be reminiscent of something I may have heard, you know, in processing, or maybe fresh to me. Then I'll kind of get an idea for it. And then I might find a melody for it. And then it's like the words kind of come out. It's almost like the song has something that it wants to say, and then I kind of latch onto that, and then I can kind of fill in the blanks and stuff like that and craft it that way, you know. And then a big process then after I have the basic form and stuff like that is I'll do rewrites. So I'll refine it even more. Sometimes the rewriting will be in the process, or sometimes I'll finish the whole thing in a first draft, and then I'll go back and tweak it and, you know, do rewrites that way.
All right, we've got one more video for our viewers, and this is a song called "I Thank God I Found You."
For so long, I was living my life with a restless heart, looking to find someone that I was meant for. Then just in time, when I almost given up, there you were right at my door. So I thank God that I found you. I thank God that I found you, 'cause I was waiting, I'd been hoping, and I was praying that you'd find me too.
All these years I've been hoping and praying with an open heart, reaching for roses but only picking thorns. Still I believe and can see I've been blessed with you to love and adore. So I thank God that I found you. I thank God that I found you, 'cause I was waiting, I'd been hoping, and I was praying that you'd find me too.
You changed my life,
You touched my soul
till the day I die. I promise you,
I promise you,
I'm never gonna let you go. 'Cause I was waiting, I've been hoping, and I was praying that you'd find me too. I thank God that I found you.
I thank God I
I
found you.
thank God that I found you.
I thank God I found you. All my life I promise I'll always love you.
How did it come about that you relocated to Nashville? Was there a specific reason you wanted to go to the Music City, or something else?
Great question. The reason I came out to Nashville, it wasn't really on my radar so much, but my father actually planted that bug in my ear. He said, "Why don't you go to Nashville?" And I was like, and it was like kind of, there was no resistance to that at all. Just like, yeah. So it just felt right from the get-go, and he's a pretty smart dude. And so I moved. Well, I hooked up with Heather Romero in co-writing, and that was her intention when she came to Las Vegas. She actually only had planned to stay there for a couple of weeks, and then she and I met, and then we started writing, and things were working out. So she decided to lay down some songwriting roots with me there, and we kept busy. And then, but we both had the goal of getting out here to Nashville, and we both made it. So,
All right. Where can our viewers find out more about you online?
that's real simple. I have my own website, davidharemusic.com. So Hare spelled Hare, not like this, but
Right.
DavidHare music, music.com, MOUSE. No, you don't have to put the MOUSE part in. It's davidharemusic.com.
Okay, well, that's about all the time we have for this episode. You have any final comments for the viewers?
You know, I still have friends in the area there. So that's it. And all you Venturaites or Venturians or whatever you call yourselves, please say hello to the Pacific Ocean for me. I miss the ocean there. But that's about it. You know, everybody, you know, blessings and you know, good things to everybody. But this has been really fun.
All right. Well, David, that is all the time we have. Thank you very much for participating in this interview and sharing your music with us. We're going to leave our viewers with another one of your songs called Out of Reach, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for tuning in. God bless.
You as well. Thank you, Jeffrey.
I'll be flying to an island where the people and the climate are warm year long, warm year long. If anybody calls, leave a message. I'll be somewhere, no reception at all, 'cause I'll be out of reach. I'll be soaking in an ocean where the beaches stay open all year long, all year long. If you got a news flash, telegram to my castle in the sand, 'cause I'll be gone, gone and out of reach. At the beach, gone and out of reach. I'll be cashing in